let's get to this Mets series. You look at the probable pitchers. You have Christopher Sanchez, Kodai Senga tonight. It's a good pitching matchup. Senga has been a little up and down at times, but overall pretty good. Luzardo Minaya on Tuesday night. And then Wednesday is an interesting one because you have Taijuan Walker, which though his overall numbers have been good, you never quite know what you're going to get, especially early on in a start from him, versus Nolan McLean, who's been really good in 2 games and doesn't quite have that Mets stench on him yet. He's sort of been a breath of fresh air for the Mets. And part of the reason that this series is even still with, carries some level of intrigue, because if they don't get what they've gotten from him in his first 2 games, you might be talking about the Phillies having a 9-game lead right now. So it sets up where I look at this overall, and I'll be quite honest with you. Christopher Sanchez, if you want to talk about Christopher Sanchez, the Phillies have a better lineup than the Mets, in my opinion, at this point. The way that it's going right now, the Mets have swung the bats a little bit better lately. I like the Phillies more than I like the Mets from an offensive standpoint right now. The Mets bullpen, since the deadline in particular, in which they went out to bolster it, has been a disaster. So for all the complaints about the Phillies bullpen, I tilt Phillies advantage. So then I go Christopher Sanchez, Senga. Like, show me something tonight. Christopher Sanchez has shown me something for 2 years, but like, this is a game they should win tonight. Like, let's talk about this series in a way that we hyperbolize and overanalyze and overinflate its importance. Is this series going to make or break the 2025 Phillies? It's not. But I'll go back to what we talked about earlier in the year. This is a team that you kind of owe one. They've blown. Like, let's be honest. Like, let's call it what it is. This Mets team is stuck ass for 2.5 months now. Like, you have an opportunity to come in here and club these guys in the back of the head. Go do it. Like, I want to see some killer instinct this week. And I look at these first 2 games and I say, you should win these 2 games. So go win them.
Yeah, I went on Fox 29 last night for their sports show, and we discussed this. And I'm going to bring up a comment here from Sean Crowley, because he said the Phillies have lost 7 straight at Citi Field. They need to win tonight to stop that streak, to get a grip on the series right away. And what I said on Fox last night, I said, this series means more to the fans than it does anybody else.
And that's true. It is true.
Right. I like the Phillies could, in all honesty, and I'm not saying that this to just be dismissive of fans, the Phillies could lose these 3 games. They could get swept by the Mets, still have a 4-game lead with 29 games to play. Yeah. And you're probably and still feel good about that, right?
You feel good about the division, but
yeah, 100%.
I know you understand. We're talking about 2.5 game lead for a bye. Like, to me, it's more about that at this point than it is the Mets.
I agree 100%.
Happened to be the obstacle in the way this week.
Right. They did, right. But I think fans look at it as this is, and that's what he said. They lost 7 straight at Citi Field. Like, it's about this rivalry for the fans. And I get it. And I understand that. Yeah, it would be nice for them to go out there and smack this team around. Look, Kodai Senga, as good as his season has been, ERA 6 since the All-Star break. He's walked 17 guys in his last 27 innings. He's having a hard time finding the strike zone. Like, Phillies need to go in there with a patient approach, right? Very like they put some pitches on this guy, make him throw strikes. If he starts throwing strikes, okay, different conversation. Then you go up there and be a little bit more aggressive. But you got to work this pitcher. Manaya's been not good, since he's been back. His ERA is horrible.
I was actually going to get to that, and he's a guy that they've made look like a magician, last year. Yeah. So he's one in particular I circle and be like, let's go get this guy. He's been on the ropes lately.
Right. So, like, I look at those 2 games and I say, even if you struggle against the rookie on Wednesday, right? Even if you do, you got to get at least one of the first 2, because you're going up against starting pitchers that have struggled and a bullpen that has been a disaster, as you mentioned. Like, it's important to get one of the first 2.
From the math exercise aspect of it, they got 29 games, they get swept, they're up 4, you're still in pretty decent shape. Your schedule is fairly manageable the remainder of the way. Like, you could do all of that. At the same time, what was it? The old T.O. saying, like, if it looks like a rat and it smells like a rat, like, if you have a chance to go up there with an opportunity to really end this and you don't do it, like, I think that's forgivable. But given this team knocked you out of the playoffs last year, given that they've won 7 straight games in New York, if the Phillies were to get swept in this series, I think it'd be very hard to wake up Thursday morning and not go, a little bit of a fraud alert going on here. And like, I get it. I get the math. I get the formulas. I could open up Baseball Reference and be like, they have a 79.6% chance to win the division still. And I think you take it all in stride when you really catch your breath. But it would be hard to see this team go up there and flounder for 3 games, given the recent history and given it what's at stake in the short term, and not feel a little bit like not great about what that means for October, especially with these first 2 guys on the mound. If Taijuan Walker goes out there on Wednesday and stinks and they lose 7-2, I can live with that, but you better go get at least one of these first 2.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, I think you need to win one of the first 2. I think that if you get one of the first 2, it doesn't matter what happens the rest of the series. It really doesn't. I mean, yeah, sure, you want to win the series. You want to win every series, but you got to win at least one. And I think the first 2 games are you got to guess where you got to get the one. You don't want the Mets to go into Wednesday having won a couple games and starting to feel themselves a little bit, right? Yeah. So that's why I think it's important to get one of the first 2. On top of the fact that, you have another opportunity here as far as the bye is concerned for this reason. The Padres are going to Seattle, right? They're playing Mariners. Now, the Mariners have not been great lately, as we saw. The Mets beat them, Phillies beat them. But they're in the middle of a playoff race, and they're back home. Like, this is an opportunity. The Padres are coming off the Dodgers series, so you hope that maybe the Mariners can help you out a little bit. Meanwhile, the Dodgers are hosting the Reds, who are chasing down the Mets, right? So this is a real opportunity for the Phillies to even give themselves a little bit more breathing room in that bye. Like, because it's not like the Padres and Dodgers are playing the Pirates and the Rockies. They're playing teams that matter. Okay. Yeah. And this is a chance for them. I think that's what makes it important to get at least one of these first 2 games.